Our mind may seem complex, but it doesn't have to be. The hidden secret of the mind, which is not so much a secret, is that the subconscious mind really controls 95% of our mind. And the language of the subconscious mind is emotion. This is why I like to call it the emotional subconscious. I've watched many videos, read many books, but many of them were incomplete. You see, they don't explain that the subconscious mind is 95% of the mind. The new phenomena that we could simply shift our thinking has only made things worse. You see, the problem with shifting our thinking is it's assumed that our mind is conscious and logical. The reality is, obviously, the subconscious mind is what rules our mind, not our conscious mind. For that reason is why I started on this journey to inform people of how the mind works, not knowing where it would lead, but knowing that it would make a huge impact. And that's enough for me. In this video, I combined 14 videos that I recorded and showed on Instagram. But these would be powerful explanations of how the subconscious mind is used. All I ask is that if these videos do hit you or make an impact in your mind or create some sort of clarity, just drop a like or subscribe. What's the key to creating the life of your choice? Let's get deep. You might need to watch this video a few times to get the message clearly. In order to create something new, you must view what already exists differently. In order to bring to reality what you created, you must experience it. In order to grow your creation, you must give it power. You give it power by getting others to also experience the creation. The feminine subconscious sees life differently. The masculine subconscious objectifies the new perception by putting it into action. Both subconscious work together to give it power by helping others view the new perception and helping them also put it into action. This is why a balanced perspective between the feminine and masculine subconscious is the key to creation. But if you function through fear of unworthiness, you will be slave to the current perception. How to build mental resiliency using self-love. The key is already knowing that you are great and that you have everything you already need, because it's true. You just don't know how to use your skills and talents yet. You build a strong self-love foundation by using yourself as your why. Not your parents, not your siblings, not money, not anything, yourself. Your greatest motivation should be discovering your strengths, how far you can go. While you're accomplishing those goals with yourself as your why, use positive affirmations that empower your self-worth. Be ready for major challenges as they come and learn how to overcome them without self-beat up. It's just a part of life. It's only supposed to make you stronger. With that self-love foundation, you'll be ready for anything. The process of fear of unworthiness stealing our identity. Fear of unworthiness is a subconscious false knowing that we have no value. So it blocks us from achieving goals and success from the start. It does this by using perspective against us instead of in our favor. The subconscious mind has to find reason for us to survive, so it finds validation through exterior influences. So it sets us up so our value depends on everything except ourselves. So in order to be successful under fear of unworthiness, we must use our emotional converting powers on exterior influences instead of using love energy in our favor. This is why we feel empty, even though we may have everything society may consider success. Ultimately, our identity becomes our ability to make money, accolades, professional accreditations, and material possessions. So our identity is everything and anything except ourselves. The feminine subconscious super ability called vulnerability. In the comment section, let me know how many push-ups or how many max outs, how many squats you need to do, or how do you win this strategic chess game. Vulnerability is also called risk tolerance. With fear of unworthiness, the stakes are too high because your identity depends on it. With self-love, you're allowed to be more vulnerable because you have that strong emotional foundation that comforts you to know that even if you lose everything or if you fall, you're just gonna pick yourself right back up. You don't look at love as a chance to get heartbroken. You see, if you exercise this feminine subconscious superpower, you become immune to psychological warfare. But remember, you can only build this superpower by getting in tune and grounded with your emotions. It will also help you to transmute or convert emotion into energy. That's true power. Why is accountability a power? You need to know that accountability means you're in control. Yes, there are responsibilities to being in control, but you are the master of your life. Accountability means you depend on no one. Accountability means you own your identity. Accountability means that if you want something, you just need to decide and then plan and take it. Whenever you try to hold others or blame exterior influences, you are actually giving away your power, your independence. Being accountable also doesn't mean beating yourself up. Accountability means you're responsible for your fate. So just like you're responsible for your mistakes, you're also responsible for your successes and achievements. If you focus on self-love, you will confidently take responsibility for the mistakes and for the achievements. What is transformation, or the process of changing? I'll be explaining the process, how you feel, and what to do. The process is simple. You're becoming somebody else. You will feel lost, so you will be uncomfortable. People around you will no longer make sense. You won't find what you used to like interesting anymore. Plenty of emotional volatility. It's a feeling that nothing makes sense. Your subconscious mind is resetting, so it's a rebirth. So what do? Meditate and try to use the emotional energy to focus on yourself. The most important thing to remember that will keep you grounded is that it's normal. Read, work out, keep to yourself. You are recreating a new identity, so decide who you want to be. Make it good this time by choosing self-love and using love to trigger your subconscious mind. The difference between mental strength and mental skills. Mental strength is really emotional strength, which is part of the feminine subconscious. Mental skill is knowing how to use information and the mind effectively. It's a masculine subconscious trait. You can learn and practice mental skill, but you can't learn mental strength. It must be experienced. If you have the mental strength, then all you need to do is clear out the mental blocks and create a strong why. If you have the mental skills, you still need to put it to the test under pressure. Having mental strength first allows you to use that strength to trigger your subconscious mind to learn the skills much faster, because you already have experience using emotion and you have achieved success at some level, meaning it's time to scale up and learn more mental skills. Learning mental skills is uncomfortable, but if you already became this strong overcoming such strong emotional challenges, this is a walk in the park. All you have to do is overcome discomfort and stop lying to yourself that you can't do it. How do you learn about people without knowing them? People tell you who they are and how they think, but your perspective needs to be at a higher level than whoever you are talking to. If you're not able to differentiate, then that means you have similar thinking, challenges, and beliefs. The greater your mental strength and mental skills, the more you are privy to people's strengths and weaknesses. People tell you who they are and how they think by how they perceive life and how they react to challenges. This isn't psychic or telepathic thinking. It's just understanding how the subconscious mind works. The more inner work you do, the more privy you are to see. Understanding emotion and the subconscious mind is another level of chess. This is only one tool that you are privy to use once you do the inner work and master your subconscious mind. Fear of unworthiness keeps you poor because subconsciously you feel like you're not enough to achieve whatever it takes to get rich, period. Once you subconsciously have self-love, your subconscious mind will shift your perspective to lead you in the direction of riches and wealth and success and happiness. To become rich using fear of unworthiness is just creating rapture and passion over material possessions or status. What people don't realize is that they're heightening the fear to increase the fear emotion to trigger the subconscious mind. So in effect, what you're really doing is increasing the fear emotion so that the energy could increase to trigger your subconscious mind by making yourself feel as much crap as possible. What people don't realize is you can have the same effect using self-love. All you have to do is heighten the passion to discover how great you are. Something else people that use fear of unworthiness to become rich don't realize is that eventually material possessions lose value and purpose. So they were going to eventually have to go back to love and go through the transformation process again. So doesn't it make sense to simply just clear out your traumas and clear out fear of unworthiness and start off with self-love? The real secret to becoming rich. Fear of unworthiness triggers the subconscious mind to create a perspective of self-defense. Once unworthiness is cleared, there is no need for self-defense, and perspective will shift more towards production. The most valuable asset is that problems would be perceived as opportunities and not a reason to defend yourself. So it converts your perspective from defensive to offensive mode. If you talk to any successful billionaire or watch their videos, they're going to say the same thing. The key to wealth is solving problems. Did it hit you yet? Why respecting opponents is an important mindset tool. First, respecting has nothing to do with your opponent. It's an emotional subconscious trigger for yourself that it's time to focus and you need answers. When you respect, your senses heighten and emotional transmutation is triggered. And if your opponent is feigning weakness, you will sense it. Respect is different than fear. Fear will make you defensive. Respect will make you offensive. Fear triggers self-defeating emotions like hate and anger, which force you to react instead of counterattack. Respect is a feminine subconscious trait. It's best when combined with masculine subconscious traits like habits from training, practice, and advanced techniques. Once you understand the subconscious mind, the Sun Tzu strategies will just become natural. Having been through darkness is a strength. Being successful getting out of darkness, which is fear of unworthiness, and replacing that with self-love is the recipe for the ideal protector. Transformation from fear of unworthiness, darkness, and transferring to self-love is very challenging. It's one of the greatest feminine subconscious challenges anybody could go through. People currently in fear of unworthiness, darkness, need to realize that greatness is right on the other side, but they need to find self-love first. They need to realize they're not destined to suffer, and they can get out of it if they choose. Nobody is destined to suffer, but we put ourselves there because of fear of unworthiness. Those that have won the battle of darkness need to realize it's time to step it up. You have gone through extreme training that has made you very powerful, but you don't know it yet because you don't have the mind skills. It's time to develop the mindset skills because society needs you. It's important to understand that finding your purpose is not an overnight process. You will not see your purpose if you do not know what you're working with. The first step is self-discovery, but knowing yourself without knowing where to go is as useless as not knowing yourself. So in the process of self-discovery, you must sharpen your perspective. And you can only sharpen your perspective if you trigger your subconscious mind. Something important to remember is that the effectiveness of using the mental skills will depend on the level of your mental strength. As you progress, you will realize that purposes expire as you achieve them. Your level of purpose will depend on the level of mental strength and mental skills. Because with each mental level increased, your perspective will upgrade and you will see a higher level purpose. So the real question should be, how far do you want to go? Being proud of our strengths without resentment over the lessons. I've had many achievements in life, but my greatest achievement was forgiving my father. In the past, I had so much resentment over his abuse that I paid little mind to the mental resiliency and the work ethic that I had achieved. But the greatest lesson of all was the ability to overcome hate, convert it to self-love, and love overall. I'm not condoning abuse of any kind because there are many ways to teach mental strength. But whether we want to perceive it as abuse or mental training is our choice. Ultimately, if we dig deep, we will realize we are much stronger because of the lesson. We can either embrace and take ownership of the strength that we developed, or keep believing we are weak because of the lesson that actually made us stronger.